Over the past couple months, you may have seen these iceberg videos pop up on YouTube. They feature a photo of an iceberg split into different areas. And each of them feature different theories about a specific topic. Today, we're gonna be looking at a YouTooz Iceberg made by Pixelated TR and the Isaac Boy. Although if you're an active member of the YouTooz subreddit you might recognize him as Jack12080. While most of the ideas on this iceberg came from Pixelated TR, a few others came from comments on this post, so thank you to everybody who submitted one. And thank you to Isaac who put together the actual photo. Also I might make an update of this in the future given a lot of this stuff is gonna be outdated by the time this gets out. Back in May of 2020, YouTooz released a figure based around their co-founder Austin Lippman. What many people who tried to buy the figure originally remember it for was the insane sellout time. Since this was a figure targeted at the YouTooz community rather than the audience of a YouTube content creator, there was only a stock of 500. It took less than 1 minute for the figure to completely sell out, with a ton of people already accusing resellers of botting. Because of the less than stellar reaction to this by the community, YouTooz allowed people to place manual pre-orders. Nowadays you can buy Austin figures on eBay for prices sometimes lower than the ones listed on the website. This one is just flat out not true. The legitimate first figure released was the dead meme, with Fitz being released alongside Toby and Swagger Souls on the same day a couple months later. Although Fitz is labeled figure number 1, so you could technically call him the first YouTuber to get a figure, even if it's actually a three-way tie. This is a rumor that from what I can tell got started on the YouTooz subreddit, and then made its rounds around the entire community. For anybody who doesn't know, Todd is the manager of the YouTooz social media accounts. There isn't a whole lot of evidence to suggest that Todd himself isn't real, but it isn't just him managing all of them. The Lunch Club rug was a bonus item you could get for free from buying all 7 of these Lunch Club figures, or just buying it separately. However, the rug was apparently never released due to licensing restrictions. Although some people have speculated that it wasn't a licensing problem, and that there was some other driving factor for them never releasing it. We'll be looking more into this theory later on in the video. The content creator Jay Schlatt recently got his own batch of YouTooz plushes that sold out incredibly quickly. To put into perspective how quickly they sold out, there were 6 total plushes all stocked about the same as every other release, and they all sold out in 8 minutes. These things haven't even shipped at the time of writing this, and they're already going for hundreds of dollars on eBay. There have been a lot of leaks in the past involving YouTooz, and they usually come from the person who the figure is based on. Most of the time this is pretty cool, as we can get an idea of what the figure is going to be like when it releases. This one is definitely on the stranger side. This is a pretty common thing to see on the YouTooz subreddit, and the earliest case of this that I could find was from Samham15, where he threatened to shoot his Fitz figure while holding out a gun to it. The vault has been a common point of discussion among YouTooz fans, and theories of what it could be date back as far as September of 2019. We now know that the vault will relate to the stickers on the bottom of YouTooz boxes, and there's a good chance that by the time this video releases, it will already be out. 6-foot figures are a type of YouTooz that, as the name might suggest, are 6 feet tall. They only ever seem to be sent to YouTubers who get their own figure, and given how costly it probably is to make and ship these, it's unlikely that they'll ever be sold. Gold figures aren't actually released, they're just figures that are painted by people with gold paint. Although some of them do look really good and would probably sell well. Pepe the Frog was a figure released by YouTooz pretty early on, that is no longer available on the website. The reason for this is because the copyright owner of Pepe the Frog never gave YouTooz permission to release the figure. A lot of people's figures came with broken butterflies as well, making it even more rare to find one in mint condition. I pretty much went over this entire theory in the first part of the video, but people think that the reason his plushes sold out so quickly was because of his stands. I've searched far and wide for more info on this, but I found hardly anything. All we know is that they ran into some kinda copyright issue with it. If you took a quick glance at Tommy and its figure, you probably wouldn't notice anything strange or out of the ordinary about his mouth. But the figure is actually designed to seem like it's saying Pog. Lachlan was on sale for an extremely long time, and a lot of people were shocked when he sold out. The only two figures to be released with a time limit were Anus and Doot Doot. Doot Doot was released with a time limit because it was supposed to be a Halloween only figure, while Anus was released with one because time is kind of a gimmick on that channel, or the remains of it at least. Gypsy is a community-made figure designed by Lars P and modeled by Chasing Pollies. It's based around Bash Fetchum's real-life dog who goes by the same name. Many people from various countries interpret the word gypsy differently, so I'm not gonna go into it because it's honestly pretty boring. But the wonderful people of Twitter.com did what they do best, and tried to cancel YouTooz for being racist. I googled what the word meant, and it doesn't seem to be racially derogatory. But is that really the dumbest thing Twitter has gotten mad at? There have actually been a surprising number of YouTooz figures based on fan designs. Most notably the Sapnap figure, which was designed by Space Panda and posted on the YouTooz subreddit. During Black Friday of 2019, YouTooz started an event in which one customer every day would be able to get their own custom figure. Since then they haven't brought this event back, although people still actively make custom concepts of themselves and other figures they wanna see get made. For a short while, the user WallerSoji took a break from the subreddit, in which he was very active. Since then he's come back, and he actually saw Isaac's post about this iceberg design, so maybe he's watching this right now, who knows. There have been various YouTubers that YouTooz has milked. Two of the most notable ones are Call Me Carson and Flamingo. In total Carson has gotten 3.5, and Flamingo has gotten 12. Personally I don't really care if they do this. If they continuously sell out then people obviously want them. I went over my entire YouTooz box, and I couldn't find anything telling me not to eat it. So this figure in particular is probably alright to consume. Although the motivational lizard plush featured a do not eat notice in the item description. And it is included on the back of the YouTooz tape. Somebody in the YouTooz community who is very observant noticed that most VTubers are sitting down. How they noticed this I don't know, but it's pretty funny nonetheless. A couple months ago Mad criticized YouTooz for being poorly run and deceptive. He claimed that YouTooz was owned by Omnia Media.
The reason is they're run by Omnia, and Omnia is just really terrible.
Doesn't really make sense given that YouTooz is an independent company. Most of the people who refund a figure either never had it come in, or were unaware that their figure was a pre-order. If your figure doesn't come in you should probably contact the YouTooz support email. Back when the original Flamingo figure was released, a lot of his younger fans decided to raid the YouTooz Discord. They spammed a lot of memes from the Flamingo channel, and it was just kind of annoying. Gleemayo is a giveaway service frequently used by YouTooz. From what I can tell Gleemayo is a legitimate giveaway service, so unless YouTooz themselves are rigging it, this one is fake. I went over this one earlier in the video. It's more likely than not that Todd is real. YouTooz.live is a reseller who intentionally breaks figures in order to get replacements. He sells the broken figures he has without notifying the buyer that they're broken, and is just all around a pretty scummy dude. Before making this I had no idea what Yondir was, or who Yondir Dev is, since I'm not a weeb. But he joined the YouTooz Discord, which led a lot of people to suspecting he was going to get a figure. And this silhouette was posted on the site, which I guess looks something like them. It's been almost a year since this happened, and we're yet to see or hear anything about this. All the way back in August, Raccoon posted a concept of the Do V2. YouTooz ended up working with the Do again, and decided to use his concept for the final figure. There are some differences between the two, but they still look really similar. A little while back, one or more people had been stealing figures from one of YouTooz's factories in Shenzhen, and they were posting about it on an Instagram account. Some people in the YouTooz Discord found a bit of info on how this operation was working from the posts on the account. They ended up DMing the people from the account, which ended up revealing more of the stolen figures. The odd thing about this story is that people for some reason think they are located in a Taco Bell. There are a lot of varying stories of this, but the general idea is that people were stealing figures from the YouTooz factories. It's a role in the Discord server, but eating tape probably isn't a good idea. Sapinap was a toxic Sapnap stan who joined the subreddit and started complaining about how their figure hadn't arrived, despite it being a pre-order. There's a rumor that the Carson Do a handstand figure exists because they had some leftover ones that were just flipped over and given different packaging. There's no evidence of it, but it would probably make more sense than anything else. While YouTooz hasn't actually released an official gold figure, people have made their own custom versions of them. And now, we enter the final layer of the iceberg. While making this video, more information has come out surrounding certain disputes among the Lunch Club, with this information shining a negative light on a certain member of the group. This info was likely why the Lunch Club disbanded to begin with, and it's probably why the rug never got released. Bricks is one of the most prominent and well-respected people in the YouTooz community. But does he work for YouTooz? Probably not. No, just no. Look at these things. I don't even think YouTooz would put out something like that. Wait, what? Big Chungus was a figure that was supposed to come out on February 5th, but it never got released because a bunch of people on Twitter didn't like it. Big Tech once again trying to censor us. A lot of people's Cody Jones figures are only starting to come in now, despite it releasing in May of last year. Just remember this whenever you think your figure is taking a while to ship. Tommy Innard was expected to ship from the 15th of March through the 22nd of March, but it ended up shipping in February for some reason. The Crab Rave figures can apparently play the song from the video. And it definitely shows in the price. And most importantly,
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing